Hello everyone, my name is Yuliana with student number 245304-208. I am a second semester student majoring in English language education. This video is created to fulfill the final exam for the course Introduction to Linguistics. So today I would like to present this topic is Cooperative language and implicature, based on the theory introduced by Paul Grace. So, let's begin. Definition of cooperative principles. Cooperative principles were introduced by Paul Grace in 1975. This theory explains that in a conversation, participants are expected to cooperate with each other to make communication clear, effective, and meaningful. Grace believed that speakers and listeners naturally follow certain rules that help each other understand the message better. The next is the purpose of cooperative principles. There are three main purposes of cooperative principles. The first one is to make communication easier. The second one is to avoid misunderstandings. The third one is to keep the conversation relevant and efficient. These goals show that language is not only about grammar, but also about shared understanding between speaker and listener. The next is maxim of cooperative principles. Grace divided the cooperative principles into four conversational maxims. The first one is maxim of quantity. Maxim of quantity is give the right amount of information. The second one is maxim of quality. Maxim of quality is be truthful and avoid saying things you like. Evidence. The third one is maxim of relevance. Maxim of relevance is say things that are related to the topic. The fourth is maxim of manner. Maxim of manner is be clear, brief, and avoid confusion. When these maxims are followed, communication becomes smooth, efficient, and purposeful. The next is definition of implicature. Implicature is an implied meaning in a conversation, something that is not said directly, but can be understood from the context or the way it is expressed. It usually occurs when a speaker intentionally violates one of Grace's maxims. In such situation, the listener is expected to infer the hidden or extra meaning behind the utterance. The next is the types of implicature. There are two types of implicature. The first one is conversational implicature. Conversational implicature refers to an implied meaning that arises during everyday conversations, depending on the context and the cooperative principles. For example, A said, "Are you coming to the party tonight?" B answered, "I have to study for an exam tomorrow." Implied meaning is B is not going to the party even though they didn't say it directly. The second one is conversational implicature. Conversational implicature refers to an implied meaning that does not depend on context, but arise from specific words or expressions that carry additional meaning by convention. For example, she is poor but happy. Implicature. Normally, poverty is associated with unhappiness, so the word but implies contrast that being poor is not usually associated with being happy. The next is violation of maxim. Violation of maxim occurs when a speaker breaks one of Grace's four maxims like quantity, quality, relevance, or manner in a conversation. This violation may happen due to lack of information, not knowing, or it can also be done intentionally. When a maxim is violated, the listener will usually look for a hidden meaning behind the speaker's utterance. The next is examples of violation. The first one is violation of the maxim of quantity. For example, A said, "Who came to class earlier?" B answered, "Some people." It's too little information even though B knows exactly who came. The second one is violation of the maxim of quality. For example, A said, "Did you see Erin?" B answered, "She was abducted by aliens." This answer obviously false and cited either as a joke or sarcasm. The third one is violation of the maxim of relevance. For example, A said, "How was your exam result?" B answered, "It's really hot today." The answer is irrelevant response, possibly to avoid answering the question. The fourth is violation of the maxim of manner. For example, he produced repetitive vocal movements with vibration from the vocal cords. It means he looked, but it's expressed in an unnecessarily confusing way. So, the conclusion, the cooperative principles help make conversation effective through four maxims: quantity, quality, relevance, and manner. When these maxims are violated, either intentionally or unintentionally, an implied meaning called implicature might arise. Understanding these principles is important for accurately interpreting hidden messages in everyday communication. Okay, that's all for my presentation. I hope this explanation helped you understand more about cooperative principles and implicature. Thank you very much for watching and for your attention. Goodbye, guys.